Hey guys, welcome back to Ace of Spades Tarot. I'm Aisling. For those of you that are new, welcome. Happy to have you. And for those of you returning, of course, always happy to have you as well. Just a reminder that time is fluid in tarot, and also gender is fluid. These readings are timeless, so whenever you find this, it's when it's meant for you to find, and feel free to take roles and reverse them if that makes more sense. And as always, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. If your sun sign doesn't resonate, then check out your rising, moon, Venus, Mars, as those readings might resonate more. Okay, so no further ado, we're going to be doing, grabbing a pillow. We're going to be doing Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. Wherever you have, Aquarius prominently in your chart. And let's get started. Let's see, what I'm feeling for Aquarius is... Well, I've started everyone else with the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal deck, so I'm going to continue to do that. It's a deck that I'm really have grown an affinity for and an attachment to over the past few years. I just think it's a beautiful deck. Hope everyone's doing really well, and everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And as we approach the winter solstice, that will, however you celebrate the holidays, that you'll have a wonderful time. Yeah, so these are just going to be energy check-ins. No, Spirit saying no, sorry. Thank you. The bee. So you might be working really hard, Aquarius, right now. A strong energy of, the daily grind, kind of that sixth house energy, right? Of everyday grind. But there's a lot of green, in this card, which really is representative of the heart chakra, and there's a lot of yellow, which is the solar plexus. So it's something that you're working towards, something that you love, which is always great to see. Now let's see whether or not this is going to be past or in the present, because we'll see what comes out. Ooh, tarantula wanted to come out before, so we're going to take that. Thank you. Okay. Interesting. Both insects, or, well, one's an arachnid, but, creepy crawlers, if you will, although, and both sting, right? A bee stings, a tarantula uses its fangs that sting with venom. So, but a tarantula is much more ominous, right, than a bee. We see the bumblebee and we think, okay, it's bumblebee. We see tarantula and we run for the hills. So I feel like you have in the past been working towards this thing that you love, and maybe you get tired of that grind. Maybe you get tired of that, that daily routine, and you're not seeing exactly the results and that you expect, and so you decide that, I'm going to become this kind of tarantula energy. It's the red of the root chakra is much more prominent here. So it's maybe grounding yourself, but it's also kind of lying in wait for your predators, because that's what a tarantula does, right? It burrows and it kind of hibernates in a way, although it's not really hibernating. It's just lying in wait for someone or something to fall into its trap. So, from the energy of that heart chakra to the energy of that root chakra, but almost the underbelly of the root chakra, something perhaps happened in between. And I think it's that you get tired of that grind. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So we have starfish, which is interesting because, you are the star card in the tarot. But, the starfish, it clings on to what it can, and it grasps on to what it can. And it's beautiful energy. Just so, and if you cut off a starfish's leg, it grows back. So it's quite an interesting energy to have in juxtaposition to these. But I feel like that is the energy that you want to be in, where it's like you're just calm in your day, living your life, and if something happens, you regenerate, kind of learned how to regenerate, right? And then we have Cobra. And back to like Tarantula, again, that's more that kind of fire energy, the only, you have water energy, you have two fire energies, the only air energy you have is the bee. And we have more of that, the root chakra is even redder, but now it's angry. It's like the cobra is up, it's ready to strike, again, so we have another venomous creature. So it's like, have you forgotten that part of you that can just kind of relax and go with the flow and be that starfish and kind of move slowly and not have to feel the pressure? Because I feel like a whole lot of pressure surrounding the starfish. I feel between the cobra and the tarantula and the bee, who looks like it's just ready, even though it's doing what it loves, and that heart, but that the spinning of the circles around and around and around, it's like ready to just kind of, it just kind of wants to turn into that starfish that can just be like, I'm just chilling here. So yeah, and we had at the bottom of the deck otter again. So otter is playful energy. Otters are playful. They're they fall asleep in the water, holding hands with each other. It's all about playtime. It's beautiful. It's such fun energy, and I feel like it's the only time we see blue in any of these cards. I feel like this is what you're missing, and this is what you need to kind of aim towards, like a little bit more relaxed, a little bit less trying to be, at the ready to strike, and also, if we think about the cobra, we think about the snake charmer, right? Where you can still be a cobra and still be charmed by the snake charmer. So despite your venom and your fangs and your deadly, your deadliness, there's still that Achilles heel that you have. And you don't want to have to be at that ready, at the constantly hyper vigilant, right? You want to chill like the starfish, that golden energy, that relaxed golden energy, not too relaxed, but the energy that you felt with the bee when maybe you first started out doing what you were doing, but without losing the playfulness of it, because I think that's maybe what needs to be found. Okay, from there, I'm going to keep the same order that I've done for the other signs thus far. Use the L key, it's the she who, but it's again not gender specific, so please take it as it resonates. She who, he who, they who. It's really about the message, not about the... For Aquarius, please, Spirit. For Aquarius, please, Spirit. Can you give me the energy of Aquarius? Please, Spirit. Thank you. Oh, we got two. Yep, both okay. She who flies. Well, we have the bee right there, right? She who flies, dare, do, reach. So I think this is how you started, right? It was very much the and Aquarius, your your air energy. She who surprises, surprise, discover, or they who surprise, discovery, revelation. I think, and you notice how we go from that kind of light, the light coloring of this card, like similar to the B card. We also have this, all of a sudden we turn into these reds, if you can see on camera. It's, it's much darker, it's much, and she's looking out at things that are flying. She pulls her curtains back, kind of like the tarantula from its, from its lair, or the cobra from its, from its lair. But we see that deep red again. So it's like on guard, like I'm going to surprise them before they can surprise me. Let's get one more. She who divines, or they who divine. Future, choice, judgment. Yeah. This is all about, it's very much all about, again, your decisions in how you want to move forward. Again, we have the red of the wrapping in her hair. We also have the green on her brooch, and she's staring straight ahead. The Seven of Hearts is here, which kind of relates to the Seven of Cups in tarot, in cartomancy. And Seven of Cups is a Scorpio and Venus, or Venus and Scorpio energy, which is all about choices. So this is all about you and making the choices that work for you in your life. Okay, from the Infinity Oracle, let's see. These are pretty straightforward. Let me give us a little bit more clarity. Okay, that wanted to flip early. Karmic lesson. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. What other things? Hot and cold. Yeah, I think this has been a year of karmic lessons for a lot of us, It certainly has been for me. I think I think for most of the collective, it's been, 2022 has been a year of kind of karmic lessons. So you can take this one. Take a risk. Anything else that wants to come out? Dazed and confused and hidden emotions. Bottom of the deck, we have Epiphany. So, what I'm reading from this here is that, again, you've kind of been on autopilot for a while, but your autopilot changed from something that you loved doing to something that you had to do, and it kind of, there was like there was a shift. There was just a shift in energy where, all of a sudden hypervigilance came into play, where you were going back and forth between this or that, or, and you can do things the way they've always been done, or you can take a risk. And maybe taking a risk, maybe you've taken risks and they've left you kind of dazed and confused, and going back to then the way things have always been done. But I think there are hidden emotions surrounding the situation, which is kind of full circle why it makes it a karmic lesson, because, you know, a karmic lesson is it's here in our life to teach us, right? So that we can move forward, so that we can undo the karma from the past, and move forward with a kind of a clean slate. And so I think it's about getting in touch with the hidden emotions, and making decisions in terms of, you know, She Who Divines about choices, right? But, you know, not being hot and cold, kind of brushing yourself off, getting those, you know, the uncertainty and the bubbles of I'm just picturing the, like, cartoons, you know, where they always show someone that fell and they have the kind of whatever around their head, you know, and that's how I'm picturing right now. And it's kind of like, but brushing yourself off and getting up and saying, okay, like, I got to really face, what are my hidden emotions? Like, why am I going hot and cold? Why can't I make a decision? Why do I feel this way? What am I afraid of in taking a risk? And what is the lesson that I've needed to learn? Like, how can I become more like this starfish, right? And this and the otter energy. How can I do that and still be successful, still do what I love to do, but how do I do it in a better way, in a smarter way? Let me put these up here. Yeah, because, you know, at the bottom of the deck there's Epiphany, which is coming to the understanding. So I think I'm going to use, actually, the Fountain Tarot for you. That's what I'm feeling for you, Aquarius. Yeah. Every sign seems to be pointing me, you know, I'm being directed towards a different deck, which suits that sign, or which spirit is directing me toward. That I don't know. So can we get a card for karmic lesson, please? Thank you. The Magician. Yeah, so, I mean, that's manifestation energy, right? It's Gemini and Virgo energy. It's card number 1 after the Fool in the Major Arcana. You know, also Mercurial energy. So maybe it's learning how to manifest correctly. You know, I like that at least it came up in the upright. Yeah, the balancing and the world. The Two of Coins and the world. You know, in the world, so we have the Magician here, which, you know, if the Fool were there, it would be, it's 0, and it's the first card of the Major Arcana, and the world is the last card. So the karmic lessons is something began, something that you thought you wanted to manifest ended up being a struggle to balance, right? A struggle to maintain, and you end up having the world here, right? Which is, she's ready, born again, ready to start a new journey, ready to start the Fool's journey, which is always a very spiritual journey. And we pass through all of those transitions oftentimes more than once in our life. Why do we have take a risk? Spirit, please. Why do we have take a risk? Six of Swords. Yeah, that's you moving, you know, Six of Swords is moving in, is leaving the dock and moving into calmer waters, which you could say he's, you know, he's taking a risk. He's leaving the known to go into the unknown. Um, you know, I like in this deck that they don't show ahead. We don't know if there's going to be choppy seas ahead. You know, we just know that it's leaving the dock. What else for take a risk, please? Why the Six of Swords, Spirit? Thank you. The Four of Wands and the King of Cups. So maybe you took a risk in love, or you need to take a risk in love. Maybe that's what's holding you back. Maybe that's the hot and cold aspect. Why is hot and cold here, Spirit? Because you know, there are two people in this boat. The King of Cups is sitting solo, facing away from the world, away from this ending. Five of Cups and Temperance. So yeah, it's like there wasn't balance in the situation, whether this has to be with work or with a relationship. It's like there wasn't balance, and it, you know, he's crying over the three cups that have spilt and not noticing the two cups behind him. But in a way, it can also represent that hot and cold. It's the duality, the dual nature, right? And Temperance is all about alchemy and all about, you know, balancing things out, making them equal. So it's almost like this is the advice for hot and cold, is finding that, when you walk into water in nature, a pond, a lake, you know, the ocean, you want the water to be temperate, right? You don't want it to be too hot or too cold. It's all about having it be temperate, hence Temperance. And not giving so much that you yourself are left dry. So I feel like this is either taking a new risk. It might be a new risk in love, and we'll clarify, but either that or it's like you took a risk and it left you. Yeah, Knight of Cups. You know, Knight of Cups can often be an apology, but it can also be a smooth talker. It can be someone who's, you know, he's got a cup to offer, but here in this deck he's kind of in all gray. There's not much color around him. He's sitting at the edge of either a waterfall or a cliff, and legs are crossed and holding on to his, you know, his cup is there, but it's very much in his head, and he's not really showing it. He's not really offering it in the traditional way. Which might be confusing, because you might have someone that can be, you know, using their upper chakras and be a slick talker, but when it comes down to it, they're not really actually giving anything. Yeah, Ace of Swords, the card of truth, the sword of truth, right? So it's like, or it's someone with cutting words, the Emperor. And again, we see that red that we saw back at the tarantula and the cobra. So, but it's almost like he's trapped in a box, kind of like this Ace of Swords is surrounded by these geometric shapes. And, you know, this Knight of Wands is kind of, I mean, it's just a knight. It's not a king. It's not, you know, but he somehow kept the Emperor boxed up, caged up, even, and the sword of truth is like trying to cut right down. But it's almost like the Knight of Wands is like, not going to let that happen, you know? I find that really interesting. What are the hidden emotions about? What are the hidden emotions about, please? For Aquarius, thank you. Six of Coins in reverse. There wasn't equal give and take. There wasn't equal balance. You know, it feels like one person had all of their money wrapped up and the other person, you know, maybe was more generous. So maybe there's a resentment there, you know. See that gold and the green, kind of like the bee, right? It's so similar to the colors of the bee and She Who Flies. Like, you've worked so hard for all of this, yet there's a resentment because it's not enough for somebody. And that causes, you know, a conflict within you. You know, it's like, it's almost like you can see these people kind of fueling the fire beneath the Emperor, like churning in the belly, you know, not feeling grounded. One more, please, Spirit. Nope, they still want these two. Okay. King of Coins and Seven of Swords. Yeah. So the King of Coins here is, I mean, next to the Emperor, we have the King of Cups. We have the Emperor, and we have the King of Coins. Now, the King of Coins, again, has, again, that green, that gold, you know. But we also have the Seven of Swords, which is deceitful energy, which is someone, you know, taking these 5 swords. 5 swords is all mental energy. It's playing mind games. It's you know, to win at all costs. And we have the 2 of Swords here that are kind of being left behind, like that dazed and confused. I'm just going to leave these 2 swords here, make sure they're safe, and, you know, make sure they're safe, make sure this person is left with 2 swords. Well, I play these mind games that I'm going to, you know, win at all costs here. But I'm going to make sure that they remain thinking, that they're going to constantly remain thinking and be stuck kind of in that 2 of Pentacles, the 2 of Swords. You know, 2 of Pentacles is more tangible, trying to juggle. Well, 2 of Swords is always mentally trying to juggle. Okay, let's see here. I'm not going to use this now, this ring now, because we still don't know if this is a work situation. I mean, you will know best, for sure. I'm going to use the Golden Tarot of the Renaissance to clarify. I don't think there needs to be that much clarification. It's about you having that epiphany, you know, having that epiphany that this is what's happening, I really think. And realizing that the Sword of Truth, it's almost like you've trapped yourself in this own box. This person might have helped, but they've done it in a kind of in a hot and cold way. Or you're, you know, the company you work for, you're feeling, you know, just feeling like you can't break out, you can't break free. So recognizing, you know, and you know, you add the Ace of Swords to those 2 of Swords, you get a 3 of Swords, which, you know, unfortunately, that's you know, heartbreak of the mind, and you know, because you know, it's swords, it's mental energy, but it's also heartbreak. It's that mind-heart connection that's been kind of crushed. But sometimes you have to have that in order to get past these other energies, right? Why do we have this Knight of Cups? Please describe this Knight of Cups, please, Spirit. Describe the Knight of Cups, please, Spirit. Energy is the Knight of Cups, thank you. Yeah, the 2 of Pentacles. Just what I was saying about those swords, right? About the 2 swords. We have the 2 of Pentacles again. So again, it's a karmic lesson. So this could be dealing with a work situation or a love situation where it's a karmic lesson, but it's trying to balance, right? And here we see almost 2 people juggling. You know, normally it's just one person, but here it's 2 people. So there's kind of that juggle, and it's next to this 6 of coins in reverse, where it's like, is it juggling over whose is whose? You know, it's petty. I feel a strong energy of pettiness over it. Why is this Ace of Swords here, please? Ace of Swords, 4 of Wands. So typically 4 of Wands is a card of, you know, it's a Mars and Aries energy, and it's typically a card of celebration. But we see this woman and this young child figure here, and neither, you know, we don't see, he's kind of looking up to her for answers, and she's kind of looking away. So it's kind of this maybe realization that whatever you've nurtured hasn't quite turned into the whatever project or relationship or whatever hasn't turned into the celebration that you expected it to be. You know, it's, what else just came out? Yeah, the four of swords. So we have the four of swords describing that, and that's taking a time out to rest. You know, it's a necessary rest. So maybe it's kind of understanding that this isn't the truth is, this is not what you pictured, and it's time to take a break from this. Can I have, please, on the Five of Wands, please, Spirit? On the Five of Wands, please, Spirit. Five of Wands, please. Thank you. And we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, not being able to work together, not being able to build together, but feeling, you know, again, there are, you know, with the Three of Pentacles, it's you know, it's not being able to grow at this foundation, you know, to get to this King of Pentacles position that you worked so hard for. So maybe it means, you know, letting something go. And then for the Seven of Swords, we have the Magician, which again, we started with the Magician and we end with the Magician. So it's manifesting, that's for sure, but in what way? Because to have it define karmic lesson and the Seven of Swords, it's almost as if you get the Magician in reverse, you know? It's a manifestation, but in a manipulative way. So that's what I have for you for that. We'll finish it off with a symbolon, which is basically kind of a blind narrative of what you might not be seeing. That's within their kind of archetypes that are within us that are important. For Aquarius, please, Spirit. For Aquarius, please. I hope parts of this reading resonated with you, Aquarius. It makes sense to me in a lot of ways, but only you will know, you know, what fits for you. For Aquarius, please, Spirit. For Aquarius, just one. Make it clear, please. Thank you, Spirit. For Aquarius. No. For Aquarius, please, Spirit. We got two. Okay. So we have, give me 1 second, because these are hard to find. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. The first one is the silence. So there's the image. Behind the two people stands an angel. He presses his finger against his lips and very quietly whispers to both Gemini, "Be quiet. I don't want to hear a word." In other words, there is nothing to say. One no longer knows what one is aimed at, or if one did at all. It is an unpleasant phase, but it won't hurt. Sometimes you feel ashamed in front of others. Maybe one should have said something. If there wasn't still a small amount of fear that this phase would soon pass, and that all will not remain as silent as it is now, one could almost enjoy this time. The card says it is better to remain silent right now. So that's advice from Spirit. And then the other card that you got is to master and disciple, master and pupil. Whoever wishes to learn needs a master and an apprenticeship. You will find them both when the time is right. Sometimes you need 5 apprenticeships in a row. So what? Sometimes you are even prepared to regard your wife, your husband, or your children as the master. Both can without a doubt fulfill this vision. This card wants to say, in the end, you are both master and pupil. You receive from the one and hand out to the other. In this way you remain in the flow, kind of like that temperance energy we were talking about. In other words, now is really the time to share what you have received. If not, you will suffer a kind of spiritual congestion. Yeah. So, those are your messages, Aquarius. I hope that you resonated with parts of this reading. And as always, please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in private readings. My information is in the description box below. And those are much more concise because I'm dealing just with one person's energy at a time. So thank you so much for joining me, and happy holidays, happy winter solstice, love and light, namaste.